box today, if somebody's going to allow me to open the box. What do you reckon? Oh, look at that. This is a Fender American Ultra Luxe Vintage. A very, very cool combo. You've got the vintage style finish on here, but a lot of modern appointments. So stainless steel frets, locking tuners. You've got the 2-point bridge, just like the American Ultra 2 that I've featured a lot on the channel. But the big difference on here is kind of the vintage style finish on here, which we get up close, you can already see there's some really nice checking. And that's got the smell that we all associate with this old school finish. It's got the same type of contouring that you'll find on the Ultra, so pretty unique for Fender, I think. It's an interesting mix between all the modern appointments that I really love about the Ultra and then the vintage style, I don't know, what would you call this? Vibe? Is that what the kids are saying? Vibe? Let's plug it in and hear a bunch of sounds out of the pickups. The most important test for any guitar is this. Does it get the sniff of approval? Oh, it does. It absolutely does.
Let's take a very quick overview of the specs and features on this guitar. Alder body, rosewood fingerboard on a quarter sawn maple neck. The fingerboard has a 10 to 14 inch compound radius with medium jumbo stainless steel frets and clay dots. The body and the neck are finished with Fender's heirloom nitrocellulose finish. It is really difficult to capture the light checking on this guitar with this particular camera, but I'll put a couple of photos up on here. It is a very tasteful vintage style nitro finish on here and it feels fantastic under the hands. The pickups in the neck and middle position are Fender's pure vintage 61 Strat pickups. There's a haymaker in the bridge like the Ultra 2. I really like the sound of that particular humbucker. That one is wired up to an S1 switch over here and then a standard Strat style setup here. You've got a 5-way switch, a volume and 2 tone controls. It has the same 2-point system for the vibrato bar as the Ultra 2, the only difference being that you've got a plastic tip on here, unlike the untipped version of the Ultra 2. You've also got the same locking tuners as the Ultra 2 on here. The nut is Tusk, and as you can see, these stainless steel frets are very polished, very shiny. They feel fantastic. I also really like the quarter sawn maple on the back here with this satin nitro finish. That's definitely a point of departure from the Ultra 2 on there. So very similar specs to the Ultra 2 in terms of the body shape and some of the hardware on there, but those single coils and the nitro finish definitely put it in its own little category. Let's hear it. 5 single coil sounds that you can get out of the guitar. I've got the S1 switch pushed in, and I'm going to start out on the neck pickup. I'll then go through each of the 5 positions. When you see me push this S1 switch again, that's going to give me the bridge humbucker. We get this. I love the way that neck pickup sounds. That's pretty much my ideal fat Strat neck pickup. I'm also really impressed by that middle pickup on there. It's very forward and aggressive. Let's add some drive to all of this now. Again, starting out on the neck pickup. That neck pickup is awesome. It also balances out really nicely with the bridge humbucker on there. So I'll roll with the bridge humbucker. We've got a little bit more of a rock and roll crunch going on now. pickups also sound phenomenal for greasy 80s style cleans. Let's hear the neck pickup, then the neck and middle, then the middle and the split bridge. Let's go full chungus on the bridge pickup now. I am going to play around with the tone pot a little bit. It's got the same feature that the Ultra 2 has, that when you go to 10, it clicks in on there. So it's got a no load pot at 10, and then you've got a standard tone control on there. Another very overlooked feature about playing Strats. If it's too bright, use the tone control on there. I've got to play the riff. Managed to thread the eye of the needle in balancing out the vintage and the modern features on this guitar. The playability with the stainless steel frets, compound radius board, and the modern D-shaped neck, like the neck on the Ultra 2, are absolutely unreal. They're just immediately comfortable, and it feels like a guitar that I've been playing for a very long time. Then the heirloom finish on here, the vintage neck and middle single coils, are exactly what I would expect out of a Fiesta Red 60s style Strat. The Haymaker humbucker on there, as we heard with a bunch of those dirty tones, absolutely screams. I think it's a fantastic stock bridge humbucker. Again, like the Ultra 2, I really like that combo on there. And then the vibe. I think it passes the vibe test. And if you look at this, it almost looks like someone has taken a really nice vintage Strat and done some tasteful mods and improvements to it. The advantage being that you can just go into a music store, take one of these off the shelf, and you've already got those improvements in there. One extra thing on here that I didn't mention earlier in the video is the rosewood on this is really dense and really smooth. And that's something that I haven't been seeing a lot on some modern guitars, where a lot of them have this kind of scratchy feel to them. This one is super slick. It suits the super slick stainless steel frets on there. And I like that this is a premium instrument with a vintage vibe that is going to last a long time. And I really think more manufacturers need to up their game and offer models with stainless as a stock option. We all know who we're talking about. I'm looking at them right now, thinking about it, but I think it's all well and good if you don't love the sound or the feel of stainless steel frets, there's so many other guitars that you can buy with similar specs to this that already do that. But so many players, myself included, love the longevity, love the slinky feel of stainless steel frets, and having it on something that doesn't look like it was designed by some alien Homer Simpson from the future, like it's just on a Strat. We all love Strats. I think is fantastic. I'm kind of in love with this guitar, and I love the way that it sounds and plays. So without any more, I'll just say thanks so much to Fender Australia, especially to Heath, for getting this guitar out to me. I'm going to play it a whole bunch more, and I'll let you hear it yet again. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support me directly, links to do that are in the video description, including some of the music that I make with my band Ragdoll. In fact, I'll play you out with a little bit of Ragdoll right now. Keep it greasy.
Reckon game.